Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be my review for Girl Meets World, Season 1, Episode 13, Girl Meets Flaws. And this episode was by far the best episode of the season so far. I think this episode was just handled perfectly, in my opinion. Definitely this was a perfect episode. And, I was really hyping up this episode because the way the promo was looking, it looked like it was going to be an amazing episode. And it really was. The way this episode was done was perfectly. The message was handled great. The acting was so good in this episode. And just everything about it was fantastic. It's actually an episode that I feel that is definitely not going to be forgotten. It's an episode that I definitely feel that people are going to start showing in schools to stop bullying, because that's basically what this episode was about. It was about not ridiculing people for their flaws, basically. And that's pretty much what it's about. So it's about how we all have flaws, and I really love that message, and let's just get into it, because overall I love this episode, and I just thought it was fantastic. So, Corey tells the class that the awards night / graduation ceremony is coming up, and he's very proud of all of them, and several of them will be recognized for their achievements over the year. But Maya gets up and says she doesn't have a chance, and she won't win anything, and it's a scam. And Riley does the same thing. But Corey says Maya will be getting the Griff Hawkins Totally Cool Award. She got basically the most confident award. And I thought that was really funny. So Corey then announces that the two finalists for the School Athletic Award are Lucas and this new character who is basically Lucas's best friend, Billy Ross. Billy Ross is also on the baseball team with Lucas, and I thought, it was interesting to see his character. Now, the scene did not seem that important, but we'll get to why it's extremely important. It's actually the most important scene in the episode, because Billy says he hopes he's ready for some competition. Lucas says he hates competition. They laugh and then try to intimidate each other. And Maya, they want to hop down from their cloud of awesomeness, and basically, Billy then tells Maya they will be done after the handshake of awesomeness. They then do this ridiculous handshake, and Maya complains that they do that every day. And Riley says her and Maya should have their own handshake of awesomeness, and they also do a ridiculous handshake. And yeah, so then Corey gives Farkle an award. He is being awarded the Joseph TRFC Confidence Award. But when he's about to give it to him, he's not there. And he calls for Farkle, who has played an answering machine on his, who has placed this answering machine on his desk. And basically, he says he can't come to his desk right now, and if they have a question for him, say 1, a comment, say 2, and billing questions 3. Corey selects 1, but the thing is controlled to go to 3. He loses connection. The machine says the call resumed 35 minutes. Corey asks for a representative. He doesn't understand this because Farkle never misses a class. The bell rings, and everyone leaves. And Riley then tells Corey that everyone got to work except for her, and she kind of feels very invisible about this. And Farkle tells her that sometimes it's okay to feel invisible. And when he said that, I'm like, okay, definitely something is going on with Farkle. I didn't know what it was at this point, but I definitely could tell you can already tell that definitely something is definitely bothering Farkle. You don't know what it is, but I thought this was just, it was handled perfectly because, you can just tell right away that something is definitely bothering him. So we then see Farkle. He is with Harley. He's with Harley, and basically he congratulates him on his award, and he asks what's getting him down, and Farkle says he wouldn't understand. And I thought this scene was perfectly handled, because Harley, I'm really glad they brought him back onto the show. Last episode, I understood why, but this episode, definitely, I'm very happy they brought him on, and I hope they keep him on, because I'm loving what they're doing with his character. His character was Corey's high school bully, of course. He bullied Corey throughout high school and Boy Meets World, but, Corey was always so calm about it, and basically, Harley congratulates him on his award. He asks what's getting him down. Farkle says he wouldn't understand. He tells Farkle he knows how he's feeling, but he's not proud of how he knows, but he knows. And, what's sad is that he knows that he's the bully, and what I like is that he feels he deserves this position as a janitor because of how cruel he was to Corey, and I thought that was definitely a very well done, and I'm loving that Harley's back on the show. So Lucas, Riley, and Maya are in the meantime searching for Farkle. They have no idea where he went, and Billy says he checked the field, no Farkle, and Maya asks if he's even trying, and he goes off. So Harley then brings out Farkle and asks if he really is his, and Lucas says what's going on here, and he calls him Buddy, and Farkle asks if he really is his buddy, And, Lucas is like, what? And Riley asks what he means, and he tells him someone made fun of his turtlenecks because they think it makes him look weird. And I really like what Maya said in this episode, because Maya usually is teasing Farkle, but we really see in this episode that Maya is a really good friend to Farkle, and I really enjoyed that. So, Maya tells him he is weird, and Riley says she didn't mean that. Maya says Farkle knows he is, but that's what makes him unique, and, that's what she pretty much loves about him. And Farkle says he doesn't feel unique, and he leaves. So, Corey and Topanga are sitting on the couch, and basically, they're discussing their life, and honestly, that scene was awesome. And I gotta say, Corey Fogelmantis, amazing actor, like, amazing. He did such a good job in this episode, by far his best acting on the show. After this, I'm like, okay, this is by far going to be his best acting. So, Corey and Topanga, they're kind of discussing their lives about how they have Riley and Augie, but they're not home, basically they're home alone because Riley's at Maya's and Augie, I don't remember where they said Augie was, but she says she's here, and basically, basically they're happy, but then of course Ava arrives, and I love that they're trying to get, like, Ava, like, her own little catchphrase of her, like, that song that she sings. It's hilarious, it really is, and the thing about Ava's character is she's this little girl, but she has such control over Topanga. It's hilarious, and you can see right away that Corey and Topanga, they are just like, oh shit, not again. You can just see the look on their face. Like, if I had to deal with someone like Ava, I wouldn't be able to. Ava is just, like, such a bitch. Like, seriously. She's such a, she's a little girl. I don't want to call her a bitch, but, like, she basically is. When she gets older, she's going to be a bitch, definitely. And I definitely found that very funny, and I thought that scene was really funny. And Corey asks how this is happening. Topanga says Augie's not here right now, but she says she's here while her mother yells at her father and tells him what to do. So Topanga says she loves that. She loves when she can get rid of her, but she can't do that tonight. And Ava tells him maybe later, but for right now, they are stuck with her. So I thought that was definitely very funny. Ava's only in 2 scenes this episode, so this wasn't really the subplot, and I'm going to talk about why this was not the subplot, because there was no subplot to this episode. So, Corey then asks the class about Gandhi, and Maya says he freed Ireland, but Corey corrects her and says he freed India, and they ask when Jackie Robinson did, and Billy says that Jackie was the first Irish kid to play in baseball when Gandhi freed them, and Corey says he quits. I thought that was really funny. Now, at this point, I'm like, why are they showing Billy so much? Like, he's a character we haven't even seen that much of. Like, why are they showing him so much? And, I was very interested in why they were doing that. So, Farkle then calls in his machine and says once again he's not there, and he says he's not feeling well, and Corey tells him to feel better. And Corey then shows them the first teenager that stood up for what she believed in. If you remember, I think it was like a year ago, there was that girl in, like, India who she wasn't getting a proper education, and she stood up for what she believed in, and basically she was, like, the first teenager to win a Nobel Peace Prize award, and, Riley talks about this. So, basically, Corey then shows them, basically, he tells them that sometimes the world presents people with certain opportunities to show who they really are. And this is basically the message of the episode here. He says they have the courage to stand up to show to someone who tries to take their spirit away. So, Riley stands up, and I love this next line. She says she has to be excused because the world has presented her with a new opportunity. So she then finds Farkle in the janitor's closet, and this is a heartbreaking scene. I gotta say, heartbreaking scene, definitely. She tells Farkle no one loves to learn more than he does, and get back into the classroom where he belongs. Don't let anyone crush his spirit. And Farkle says his spirit is fine. He just doesn't want to be who he is anymore. And he's literally not who he is anymore. He's wearing, like, he's not wearing turtlenecks. He's wearing, like, a polo shirt. He basically is just not Farkle. He's, he's not Farkle. He's not the Farkle we all know and love. Especially after this episode, I definitely feel like Farkle definitely is one of my favorite characters. So, basically, Riley tells Farkle this is not him, and she wants to know why he's doing this, and she wants to know now. And Farkle finally tells her why, and he says there was a bully who said he was the biggest nothing in the school, and he had no right to act all confident like everyone liked him, and he had no right to have friends like Riley. And Riley hugs him and tries to get him through this, and she can see he is definitely hurt. So that was definitely a very sad scene to watch. I felt so bad for Farkle, and, that's the point where I realized this episode was definitely amazing. So, Riley tells Farkle that it is not okay to let someone tell them that, and Harley says kids can be very cruel, and he would know from personal experience. And Riley asks if he was picked on as a kid, and I really like this, next scene, because Harley says he wasn't. He was the bully. He's ashamed, and tells him to look away. He's like, just look away, I'm ashamed. And I thought that was really funny, because, he's ashamed of who he was, basically. I'm wondering if we're going to find out more about, like, what Harley's doing currently. I think that definitely is very interesting. And Maya and Lucas then come into the janitor's closet, and Riley updates them on what's going on, and Maya says she wants to find out who this is, so that way, she can find him and basically beat him up, but Lucas doesn't let her leave, and Lucas says, don't let what anyone says to him, get to him, because that's what they want, but Farkle asks why he is his friend, and Lucas keeps asking why he's saying that, and I myself was wondering that, definitely. I was like, why does he keep asking him that? So Riley asks Farkle if he will just come back to class, and Harley talks about how he bullied Corey in high school, but because of his will, their relationship changed, and Corey even gave him the position, and now he is of high esteem. So Corey then comes in, and he calls him Baboon, and everyone laughs, and I thought that was really funny. I love this new friendship that we are seeing between Corey and Harley. I definitely do like that. One of the things I definitely do like is that they are giving Corey more to do. A lot of people have said Corey's just a background, just to give them advice and basically just be Mr. Feeney. What I like is that they are continuing storylines from Boy Meets World, which I definitely do like. So Corey sees Farkle. He asks if he's okay, and Farkle says he is, and you will see him in his class tomorrow. And Harley jokes around with Corey about lunch money. I thought that was really funny. And Riley and Maya are then telling Lucas that this is a very important spot. They're sitting at that same place. They always, where they always talk about what's going on in the episode. That it's that same place. And basically, Lucas asks they talk about him here. And Riley gets all choked up. She doesn't know what to do. You can still see that Riley has major feelings for Lucas. I mean, they're really getting closer and closer as the season goes on. I definitely do enjoy that. Especially after that episode where Riley, touched Lucas on the, Lucas on the, slapped Lucas's butt, definitely. You can definitely tell they're getting closer after that. So, Lucas says whatever Farkle is dealing with, they can't let him deal with it alone, and Maya says she wants her Farkle back there, and I was like, her Farkle? And I still feel they are foreshadowing a definite Maya and Farkle relationship. I definitely feel they're going to have one. Not yet, because they're too young. I don't think they're going to right now, because the show is only on season 1. I feel definitely down the road they are definitely going to have a relationship, just because of what she said there. And because of how concerned she was about him, I definitely feel that. So, Maya says they can find the guy who was bullying Farkle. Lucas can take care of him. Oh, also, Corey tells them that they have one day to fix Farkle, or else they come to an adult. And basically, Lucas says he's not going to beat him up because all those people on the blackboard never attacked them for their methods. They were just really good people, and they did things peacefully, which is true. Gandhi never was violent, Jackie Robinson was never violent, and that girl was never violent. They all did things peacefully, and I definitely really enjoyed that. So, Corey kicks Lucas out and says that felt really good, and I thought that was definitely very funny. You can still see that Corey does not, have the highest liking for Lucas. So, then we see, I thought that was definitely a very funny scene. So, they go to gym class, and Farkle is still not there, and Lucas is getting very concerned. And Billy asks if they are still on for baseball tonight. And Lucas says he can't because of Farkle. And then what Billy said I thought was very interesting, because he says he's better off without him. And I'm like, was Billy possibly one of the ones that was bullying him? And Lucas is shocked, and Billy says he doesn't see Farkle as his friend. Lucas says just because he's smarter, he doesn't make a big deal about it. And yes, he wants to take over the world, but he's interested in seeing what he might do with it. So I thought that was definitely a very funny line. And Billy tells him Farkle, and then we find out basically here that Billy is the bully. And I thought that was an awesome twist, definitely, because they were showing Billy so much. It makes so much sense why Farkle kept asking Lucas, why are you my friend? Because, he is best friends with Billy, and I thought that scene was amazingly done. I love this, and just the episode just got so much more amazing after this, because Lucas shoves him into the wall. He's basically ready to beat him up, and Riley and Maya are shocked, and Lucas asks why he would do this to Farkle, and tells Billy he is, nothing. He is the nothing, and Maya tells him to stop, and Lucas says this is what she wanted him to do, and he's gonna do it, and you know, because it is. That's what Maya said to do. So he's ready to basically beat the shit out of Billy. And I really thought we were going to see, like, an actual fist fight going on. But Maya gets on his back and tells Lucas that's what Billy wants. He wants Billy to be like him. And he says Maya has a point. And Lucas says he doesn't like this side of him. But Billy says they were best friends before these guys were even friends to him. And Lucas says they are his friends all the time. And Farkle can depend on him, and he means something to him, and he's his best friend. He is only, you know, Billy and all the other guys on the field, he's only friends with, you know, on the field. And then we see Farkle, and Farkle, I love the way this happens, you know, he's literally, like, hanging on this rope, and he asks him if he really means that, and he's been hanging on the rope the entire time. Lucas asks Billy if he, you know, why doesn't he want to be friends with a goofball like him, like that, and asks Billy what's wrong with him, and Billy says nothing's wrong with him, and Lucas says he has never seen him hang out with someone who's not on the team, and I thought that was definitely very interesting, and Billy says he can have him, he's not like them, and Harley says that's how he used to be. And, you know, he used to think, and Billy then storms out, and Maya says they can now go back to their lives, and Riley asks what are they going to do about Billy, because, you know, Riley always wants to help people, and I love the recurring joke of Maya always saying to Riley, you can't fix everything, and then Riley magically fixes everything. It's always really funny. So, Riley says Billy doesn't even think he did anything wrong. Corey says they are just now finding out who they are. And he says no one will wear a sign on their shirt to tell them more about them. And then Ava comes in, and she has a sign on her shirt that says Spoiled Rotten. That is one of the most funniest jokes, definitely, the show has done so far. That was perfect. Like, that was absolutely hilarious. She's criticizing Topanga's cooking and tells her not to make that toaster pastry. Everyone knows she took the shortcut. And she picks Ava up and kisses her. And I thought that was definitely surprising. I'm like, don't you hate this? Don't you hate this little girl? And she tells her to never change and to be exactly who she is and wear it proudly. And I thought that was definitely very well done because here's the thing. Ava's a little girl. That's why she's so tough. But the thing is, even though she's so spoiled rotten, Topanga loves her like she loves, you know, Maya and, you know, like she loves Riley and Augie. She still thinks I definitely think that she feels like Ava is her own daughter because, you know, she cares about Ava, and I thought that scene was just really, really well done, definitely because I wasn't expecting that. And Riley asks if that advice was for her, and Maya tells her she can't fix everything, but Riley has other ideas, and, you know, again, that was definitely very funny. So, then I love this last scene, I love the way the episode ends. Corey comes into his classroom the next day, and everyone has a word on their forehead, because, to tell who they are. And Riley, wrote words on their forehead, and she has the word insecure written on her, because that's how she feels about herself. And Maya has the word broken because when she owns it, it doesn't make her feel bad. And Corey says maybe writing on their foreheads makes them not afraid to admit they have flaws. And Billy gets up and he's about to lead the class and asks if he's trying to be invisible. And Farkle says it doesn't work out. And Corey says he's the only one not wearing a sign on his head, which was definitely very interesting. And Maya asks what made him treat Farkle the way he is. And Lucas says he never thought of him this way. And I gotta say, the guy that played Billy, I don't know who he is, but he is an amazing actor. Like, he really did a great job in this next scene. He says, it is wrong to be friends with people who are like him, and everyone says yes, and he says he wants them to stop making him feel bad because they have better friends than he does. And basically, he's jealous of Farkle, because Farkle doesn't have to throw a baseball to have friends. And Farkle, you know, then writes on his head the word jealous, and it's a great scene, because Riley welcomes him to the team and says he's glad to be there. And Corey says they are all human beings, they all have flaws, and if they all stick together, it's true friends that can help them wipe away. Riley wipes the head off of Maya's forehead, and, you know, basically Billy gets up, apologizes to Farkle, and I thought this was great. He tells him anyone who is a friend of Lucas is a friend of his. So now him and Farkle have a very good bond, and he asks if he wants him to help wipe his away. But Billy says he just got his, and he needs time to think about it. So I'm wondering if they are going to explore a little bit more with Billy's character, because I definitely do really love his character. I definitely really do like his character. I'm interested in his character. I'm interested in seeing his backstory. Yes, he is a supporting character, but I really feel along the way they're going to make him a main character, definitely. So Farkle asks they can do the handshake, which they do, and, you know, Billy is impressed that he can actually do it. And then Harley comes up and gives him back the turtlenecks and introduces Corey. And Corey says, yeah, people do change, and I thought that was great. And then the very end of the episode, Corey is giving an award ceremony, and Maya won the Confidence Award, Lucas won the Athletic Award, and Riley hasn't won anything, but she says she's okay. Riley gets the Spirit Award, and Riley asks Maya how she presents herself with this, and Maya says to just be her, and Riley accepts the award. And that was the perfect way to end the episode, and I honestly thought this episode was amazing. I love the message in this episode. Everyone was so good in this episode. I thought the 4th episode was really emotional. This episode was by far the most emotional episode of the show so far. The message was so well done. It's something that everyone can relate to. And honestly, as I said, I really feel that teachers should show this episode in schools because of it will prevent, this. You're never gonna, here's what I say. There's never going to be such a thing as anti-bullying. However, there is a way to limit it. For example, my school, we have a zero tolerance, no bullying policy. So you'll never see someone being very badly bullied. That's just like a zero tolerance thing in my school. So, definitely that was very well done. And the whole episode, I loved it to death. I thought it was fantastic. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. Are we going to find out more about Billy's character? I definitely feel like we're going to. Ava seems to have a very troubled life also. It seems like her parents are arguing a lot, so I'm wondering if we're going to find out more about Ava. Definitely, I'm looking forward to seeing if we're going to find out, what's going on with her. I like seeing Riley and Lucas getting closer. You can definitely see that. Maya and Farkle. I really like seeing Maya think of Farkle the way she does, and I really feel if she thinks about Farkle, I really feel like down the line, her and Farkle are definitely going to date. I really feel like that's going to happen. I don't know what happened to Smackle, but whatever. I guess it was a one-episode thing. That's basically my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in my next video. And unfortunately, Girl Meets World is taking another hiatus. It's not back till, I believe, the middle of November, which honestly is fine because this episode was the perfect one to end it on. And I will see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for the season finale of The Nick, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.